squad, I'm gonna get mine. Go do the crime, if you can't do the time, don't tell me how you're off and down. When you're smiling in my face, but you play me like a clown, it's your fool, bitch. So just step back. I'm mad that when I come down straight, I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. I'm back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean revolution machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, but you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
Double time, get something in your rear. 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 Double time, get something in your rear.
Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? 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 Who you wanna roll with?
I got my sound on. I'm not muted. I live on the edge. I don't care.
He's unmutable.
The immutable, unmutable.
There you go.
Read your phone.
Hello.
Howdy.
Jim, read your phone.
Jim,
What?
read your phone.
Read my phone?
Yeah, read your phone.
Don't read it. Don't read
Seven.
it out loud.
Yeah, don't read it out loud.
7:14. Oh. Just trying to make sure I got glasses. Below the headphones. Over the ears.
I want to know what's going on. Jim, read it.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, my. Drum roll, please.
That was a good drum roll.
Well, I'll roll a joint while we're waiting.
I just finished one.
Roll
Oh, I got a little
joint.
bit left.
Okay. Don't lock him.
You need a magnifying glass, Jim? I got one for you. You see?
Oh, wait a
You
second.
know what, Johnny? You too will be wearing these someday. So,
Oh, I already need them. Why do you think I have this?
oh, you got magnifying glass.
Let me
Okay.
reach over there and go. I
Like-
appreciate that. Oh,
There's Jim's. Oh my God, all of you have it. I always want to get one. You know, I always think I'm going to get one and then I forget about it.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
Got
my
it on
dog.
Amazon. Where else?
you get the glasses,
Shocking.
glasses, and this. It's like a double, you know.
And you have to with these
They
labels.
sell them in Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
it's got that
Oh,
little the magnifier within a magnifier.
Yes,
Yeah.
mine has that too.
You can count fingers on artificial reality screw ups, and things like that. Oh, the third eyeball in the guy's ear.
And you can burn ants too.
Yeah. Hey, that's not funny.
Okay, so first,
It's a guilt trip. A guilt trip for me.
how you feeling, Lefty?
It's-
I feel like shit.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for asking.
The Fugs did a song about that. So I feel like homemade shit was the name. Remember? You don't remember that though.
I
Remember
after this
the
one,
Fugs? They were kind of an underground group, but they were pretty good.
The
Like,
fucks?
The Fugs, Fuggs.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
not what you
Look
said.
it up. The Fugs. the Fugs. I feel like homemade shit. Yeah.
Okay.
See, that was like when I was in high school. I got to swear in front of the folks. Yeah, I think I'll go listen to Feel Like Homemade Shit. No,
Like,
it's the
that's
title.
the album.
It's on the album. Look at it. They even spell it out. It's funny. Voice recognition does like if they slip up on something, like on a regular or even a podcast, it doesn't print the blank spaces so there was a word. It like, for instance, they say, yeah, the song's called "I Feel Like Homemade," and it wouldn't say the rest. So if you're deaf and you're hearing impaired and you're looking at that, you don't know they're swearing. And I think that's like what do you call it? Ableist sort of thing. They don't care if the deaf know that they're swearing. Yeah, I forget who did that on like one of the main broadcasts that had somebody come. It just flows so quickly. Nobody. I think at least somebody should raise their eyebrows when they do that. So.
Hey, Lefty, the hashery is on Route 17, not Route 4.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's on the other side of Hackensack from me.
Oh, that's by Lodi.
Yes. It is.
There's a hashery in
It's
Maine
almost-
too.
It's almost Lodi.
In where?
In Maine.
There's a hashery, yeah. We need.
it's in
what
Lewiston.
we need to do is we need to like meet like in a Starbucks, someplace like that. Like Jim and I had a really in-depth conversation.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was podcast worthy.
Yes, it was. Okay,
Man.
so that's what we need. He walked away. So you know what?
Yeah.
Never mind. Here he comes. Okay, so like find a Starbucks and just tell me where to be and when. Lefty.
The Starbucks.
Yeah, you can sit there forever. They don't care. Buy a cup of coffee, and they're their best friend for the next.
Yeah, why are we going to go into a dispensary? That's not. No, we can't do work there.
That's the only reason I go to Hackensack is to go to the dispensary.
Well, you could go on your way home.
Yeah.
There is a Starbucks in Metuchen that's right next door to the
I'm not driving to
dispensary.
Metuchen. He's driving to me. Not happening.
I'm taking
Yep.
the bus.
You can take the bus. I'll pick you up at the bus stop. You can take the train, here.
Yeah.
Train is right behind me.
You go to a Starbucks, I'll go to a Barnes and Noble. We can FaceTime each other. Nobody will care.
No, I know.
I'm just gonna stay here and FaceTime y'all from here.
Yeah, me too.
I'll DoorDash a Starbucks coffee and just be like,
What is wrong with people that do that? I don't understand that. When I go downstairs to the lobby, DoorDash is always coming in and out, and you have to be let into the building. Like you just can't walk into my building.
Uh-huh.
people are lazy.
Yeah, they really are. Like you can't go down the street to fucking Starbucks. Like what is wrong with them?
It is. It's all
Goddamn kids
laziness.
today.
Listen, when I walk around picking up garbage, there's like a garbage can down the street by my house that I empty out my bucket in. And I can't tell you how many times, like, I literally pick up bags of dog shit that's like 4 feet from the garbage receptacle.
I know.
And I'm like,
Oh, that makes me
like,
crazy.
you bent down to bag up the shit and then carry it. And then you mean to tell me that you just went and then missed the
know.
garbage can and just left it there. Like,
That
I
doesn't
know.
add up. Yeah.
Same thing
Mhm.
happens over here too. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was having a really, really, really bad day in Florida one time, and a guy at a light, just it was a milk carton of all things. When he's done, just reached out and dropped it, and I was standing right there, and they were at a red light. So I picked it back up, and I put it back in the car. I gave it back. I'm sorry you dropped this, and threw it in. And then he threw it out again, and I grabbed him and pulled him a little bit out of the window, and when you got your feet like there and he's sitting down in the car and you grab a hold, like a freaking animal, you don't let go. I got him pretty much out the window, and then I had it and him and put it back in, and of course he saved face as the car. Oh yeah, and he threw it out again on the way out.
Oh yeah. Of course.
But then that was just a bad day. I mean, you could have made a movie about it. And then that
Sure.
happened.
listen, you can't fix stupid,
No, you
No.
cannot.
He kept telling you, man, look, I'm stupid. Look.
Well, it's hard to insult stupid intelligently too, because you can say something right to their face and they're not quite sure what you meant,
Yeah.
No, you don't thank me when I call you that word, man.
You can't have battles of wits with unarmed people.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna start looking.
The elevator don't go up to the top floor with those people.
No. And I live on the top floor.
Yeah. Well,
The lights are on and no one's home.
that I got to a top floor at a normal conference meeting, and it was right after Cheryl died, and Pete Christer had like a little video disc. What do you call them? CD.
CDs?
Yeah, and but they
45?
It was for Cheryl Memorial. Yeah, like
A-track?
the Supreme Court Memorial, and it was like awesome. I got to go pee right up there, penthouse floor. It wasn't a penthouse, and I was like, cool. And that's where, like, if a congressman would stay at this place or whatever, they would be up there. So that's pretty cool. And we had the end room all the way down at the end, except the problem is that was the room that the people who work there used. They had like a room there, so it was the smallest room up top. It was like the worst room out of like the 50s. It really,
No bark.
yeah, it was sadly funny in a way, though.
Here's the penthouse closet.
Yeah, and you should have known it. It was something weird, like the hallway turned, and there was a couple of steps up, but the ceiling didn't go up. All of a sudden, everything got smaller, a couple of steps up, and because it was just like tucked away. It was in a good motel too. I forget the name. Jesse Jackson was staying there.
Yeah.
Jesse
Did you
Jackson.
see
had a room.
his funeral was sad. I mean, he lived a good life, but
Yep. Yeah.
He
it was
did.
sad.
Oh,
I
he's a
don't know of
person.
any happy funerals.
True.
Oh, I could think of a couple.
Hunter Thompson had one, I understand. Well, he was about 100 people, and he put his ashes into a super duper skyrocket thing and blew them up.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, I wouldn't.
I think it was a
could've-
cannon or something, and Johnny Depp like funded it and like blew his ashes like up over the mountain or something like that. It was some kind of like high explosive thing.
Yeah, they played Somewhere Over the Rainbow and way up high.
Isn't it Ramadan this week? Or was that last week?
thought
I
was
think it
last
should
week.
be. No, I think it's over now.
It's over.
I think so. Yeah. When I was out Saturday, I saw a lot
Jeez,
of
it's
people.
windy here.
How high up are you?
I'm on the 6th floor.
Oh, okay.
No, it's high. How are you?
Yeah. Little inversion. Okay, this is getting better.
I went and picked up the High Times Judge kits today.
What kits?
the High Times Cannabis Cup
Oh,
Why don't
judging
you
kids.
on the air? See how it is.
Yeah, well, should I try some sativa flat? Now it's too late for
Do
sativa.
number 5. Do number 5, whatever number 5 is.
Oh, they're all brand names. The names are on there.
Okay, it's not a blind thing. Okay.
No, it's not. So it makes it more like whoops. Watch out. Yeah, it's more like a not fashion show. What the hell am I thinking of?
What are you thinking, Liz?
I don't know
What are you looking
I'm high.
You eat it.
You eat it.
Watch out. Come on. Watch out. Thank you. Where did these come from?
You eat it.
You
I
eat
just
it.
saw on the news that the Jersey Shore is severely eroded.
Good. Good.
where's the Jersey Shore? From where to where?
It'll be fixed. It'll be fixed by Memorial Day. Don't worry.
Hi, Piper. How are you?
Okay.
Welcome.
They're gonna be pumping that sand.
I'm not sure she can hear me.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
can you hear us?
No.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
I want to be heard.
Hello?
Hello.
Will.
This concludes our podcast.
Wait, he's such a joker, man.
That's not even funny, man.
That's my line, damn it. You're gonna have to sample that and make a song with it.
Oh, that could be done.
Oh, I figured out how to use someone's voice with like a 40 or minute clip and then synthesize their voice with AI.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
right?
That's very interesting.
It like analyzes like all like the pitches
Oh, that's
and depth of your voice, and then you can mimic it.
You can't come on my lap.
Get out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, here's the bag.
Nice.
And it came with some goodies. It came with the pre-roll bag came with, believe it or not,
Okay,
wrapping.
all right.
Oh, sorry. We were good?
Hi, Piper.
No, muted.
Are
Hi,
you
how
muted?
are you?
How
Yeah.
are you? Welcome.
We've
Oh,
achieved.
sorry, it took me a minute there. I don't know why my speakers. were
That's
not
okay.
working,
It takes
so.
us all a minute.
No worries.
What's
How's
going on?
everybody doing? Oh,
Dandy.
busy.
I think everybody's waiting to hear from you.
Oh, okay.
You're like
Well,
one of those guests that we get excited about.
oh wow, that's weird. Oh,
Well,
so what do you want to hear about? Like,
Who are
Something-
you and what do you do? Let's start there.
so with regard to cannabis, I also am a dental hygienist, and I'm working on writing a book that's not cannabis related. But with regard to cannabis, I have a son who is a patient. He's the second registered patient in Texas and the longest registered patient in Texas.
Wow.
And then we were medicating him before he was registered in Texas. And so I've been involved in advocacy in Texas. He started being medicated when he was 6, and he is turning 18 on Saturday. So
Wow.
it's
Nice.
been a while. So
Wow.
sometimes we still struggle because, availability of strains and and really I don't even really know what strain is best for him, but I kind of look for things that are high in myrcene, to help him. But you know, I mean, we're in Texas, so so he does participate in Cup in Texas, and yeah, we're
He's
kind
in the
of
Special Olympics, right?
Yep, he's in the Special
Yeah.
Olympics. He's at track practice tonight. Yeah, and graduating high school this year.
That's really cool.
Yeah, in a
Nice.
few months. And so, yeah, I think that, I mean, he has pretty severe epilepsy, and he has always had pretty severe epilepsy. With cannabis, he's gone 8 months was the longest without seizures, where he was having, I mean, he has tons of seizures. We got the RNS placed last summer, and so it's pretty clear that, yeah, he's still having tons of seizures. His last report. So the RNS is a neurostimulation device that also records activity. And so I don't know, in his January appointment, the average episodes is what they call them, that they're screening for seizures or subclinical seizure activity, was 1,850-ish. So he's still suffering a lot.
Does he have Dravet syndrome?
He has Lennox-Gastaut syndrome.
Oh, okay.
So similar, not quite as bad, but severe. And the reason we started medicating with cannabis was because his doctors told us he was, you know, the imminent threat of loss of speech. So that's what, you know, I had been pushing my husband, let's try this. And finally he agreed when they said, you can expect him to lose his ability to speak within the next couple of months.
Wow.
So he has never lost his ability to speak. In fact, like the day after, so I gave him his first dose at night before bed, and then the next day he was a different child. He was back to a normal child, and still, I mean, you know, if he has like a lot of seizures, then he kind of loses, not really completely loses his ability to communicate, but he'll have a difficult time while he's postictal, and the postictal period can vary from nothing to, I don't know, 3-4 days sometimes.
Does he have any memory of his seizures?
Sometimes, and I think probably more often than not, he does have memory. And, you know, he'll sometimes ask, did I have a seizure? You know, if he wakes up in the morning and he had one before he wakes up, he'll, yeah, I don't know. I see a lot of nodding. Are other people in the group experienced with epilepsy also? I mean, and today's a good day for me to be on too, because it's lighted up purple or whatever.
Now, does he feel them coming?
He mostly doesn't have auras. He does have like where he feels something in his leg that you know, he feels like it might be an aura sometimes, but it's not really reliable. You know, like if he says he feels the thing in his leg, he doesn't always have a seizure, but you know, I mean, he could be having a seizure, as like the RNS has shown us that he's having them a lot. So who knows?
Yeah, and I have a friend who has seizures, and they're not as often anymore.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's great. It's good to hear about people who get good control. I mean, Zach has periods of good control, but he also has those periods where he doesn't have good control. Yeah. So yeah, I've been advocating in Texas since 2014 was when I began. It was between legislative sessions that I started advocating, and then I went to Maryland SOP for the MCST program, the Medical Cannabis Science and Therapeutics program. And I started doing some volunteer work with Americans for Safe Access and Development and Advocacy. And I've participated in a lot of advocacy on the national level as well. And then I started doing, I had this idea for a documentary, Potbound. So I put myself up there as Potbound. I mean, that's my dream to make that happen, but I need to raise the money to be able to do it, or I need to learn how to do the camera and sound, camera lighting and sound work well enough to make a good documentary. So, but Potbound is trying to bring the focus back to patients with the cannabis movement, and
now you got not heads nodding.
Yeah, I mean,
that got my head nodding. Yeah,
that's mostly what I talked about when I was with Americans for Safe Access to people. I went to cannabis conferences and talked about, like, we need to be talking about patients. I mean, this is how we gained ground, and there is, and now we're seeing it. You know, this was years ago, but there is a real threat, and it's a little bit more than a threat now for reversal of a lot of the stuff that we're seeing. And so, like, it's just, you know, to have like legislators tell you, I'm sure you guys have all experienced this. Legislators are like, oh, this is a slippery slope and you're just trying to be able to smoke weed. And, you know, it's like, no, my son is a patient that needs this. I mean, yes, I also would like to smoke. but my priority isn't that, you know, and I would happily give it up for him to be able to get consistency with what he needs. And this is one of the focuses of Potbound, is to say that we don't, I mean, I'm sure you guys feel really ridiculous. I'm like the research that we've been seeing lately, what was it, last week or the week before, they had, you know, a bunch of headlines about the systematic review that concluded that cannabis doesn't help with mental health issues. Well, it didn't conclude that. It concluded that because it didn't have enough research to conclude that it is effective. And the reason it doesn't have enough research is because research doesn't get approved. And so, like, and there's no effort to find out what kinds of molecules in cannabis are really helping with seizures. And so, like, how do, you know, it's just like what we throw cannabis at. It's kind of random, you know? And I don't know. I know some people do experience overall symptom relief with just any old strain, but I think the majority, or at least half of the patients, have to have something in particular. And my son has to have something in particular. So that is part of the focus of the documentary, to bring back attention to patients, but also to help people to understand it's not easy, it's complicated. And if we're not addressing this with good research, like, you know, that's collaborative across the globe, that, you know, we're not going to find answers. And you know, and so that's kind of also why I named it Potbound, is because, like, well, medical cannabis is kind of Potbound, because it's like, you know, we don't have a plan, you know, we don't have a plan, we don't know where we're going. So,
you know, I have a question for you. Are they, and I'm going to go like kind of a little bit off script here. And with epilepsy, are they, are you familiar with any of the research they're doing with peptides?
What do you mean with peptides? With peptides with cannabis? Is there something specific? I don't know.
No, peptides from our own.
No, I haven't really seen anything about
that may be, you know what, I can send you a couple of articles about that.
That'd be great.
It's pretty interesting. I got into reading about that when you know, I first read Candace Pert's first book. She wrote Molecules of Emotion, because she was fired from the NIH because she had isolated peptide T for HIV patients, and it was working. And when I was still working, you know, when I was still doing patient care, I mean, I never really worked at the bedside, but because I did trauma. But when I did my off shifts, you know, to make extra money, I used to go to one hospital that had an HIV unit, and we were getting peptide T it was like the Underground Railroad. and it
Mhm.
was working.
Oh,
And it
that's
was
interesting. So like peptides from like what? Like from
from our
collagen?
molecules. Yeah.
Like so would it be like a bone broth kind of thing? How are they
Yeah.
getting? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're
Yeah. There's
doing the
bone
bone
broth.
broth.
There's all kinds of different.
Yeah.
But it's fun to even look at. It's
Yeah.
interesting. Really interesting.
No, I'm doing bone broth fast right now, and I feel great.
Feel good.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So, but and I'm also like including other like traditional Chinese medicinals that are used not as medicinals, but more like a nutraceutical kind of thing. Like, I don't know how you say this. I might be saying it wrong. Astragalus or astragalus.
Mm-hmm. You're saying it
So,
right.
yeah. Okay. Which one is right?
They're both okay. They're both fine.
Okay.
The second one was better than the first.
Okay.
That's okay.
I figured it was probably right because I was calling it astragalus, and my best friend is a botanist, and she said, "Well, I might be saying it wrong." I was like, "More likely me saying it wrong." Astragalus, but it's tasty in the broth. I just cook it in the broth, and it adds a nice like nutty flavor. I feel like, and so why not if I can extend my telomere length?
Yeah, really.
Great. Yeah,
that's nice. What is it like in the atmosphere where you live? Like, I don't really know Texas. I've been to San Antonio. I worked in San Antonio for a while. I've been, where else was I? Austin. But Austin is a hippie town.
Well, since we've had the hemp bros, and I don't know how people on here feel about the hemp bros, but
feel good.
Yeah, I mean, I think my position on all of this stuff with hemp and cannabis is, I mean, we shouldn't be paying taxes with 280E. So if somebody wants to push the limits and say this is hemp because of the legal definition of hemp, and they're going to put their, money on the line to fight it in court and their freedom on the line to do that, I mean, yeah, fine. And if I can go to the corner and buy hemp, that's fine. But so like, it was funny. I was talking to a friend who came to visit from California, and he said he felt like Texas was the freest right now, but that's going to end, I think, in a couple of days here.
Yeah.
March 30th, 31st is supposed to end. The hemp flower is not going to be available anymore. But, where we have consumption spaces pretty much anywhere hemp is sold. So like, there's a restaurant in Houston where you can purchase pre-rolls or infused beverages, and I mean, you can't purchase alcohol and hemp together, but it's somehow they've worked it to where you can have a meal, and some of the meal can be infused, and you can have infused beverages, and you can have infused, or not infused, but hemp pre-rolls, and just sit there and eat and drink and be merry. And then I have a friend who had a hemp shop here in Sugarland. Sugarland's a suburb where I live of Houston. And he had a really nice back patio where, you could buy a pre-roll and just go. And there was a wine bar right next door that shared the patio, and you could buy a wine and sit on the patio and have a pre-roll and sit on the patio. I mean, it's nice because my husband is, and this is one of the things that I've started advocating for in cannabis also, is that, my husband's Cali sober. So for us to be able to go out to a bar, and for him to be able to have
Mhm.
an infused beverage is really nice. It makes him
Hmm.
feel like he belongs in the crowd again, you know, where
Yeah.
before he would just be like, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But now he feels comfortable. And so what I've been advocating is, you know, alcoholism is a medical condition. We have genetic markers for it. When people are recovering alcoholics or recovering addicts, they should have access to this, and it should be a legitimate medical concern, you know, issue. It should be a qualifying condition. If
I'm
you
Cali
want to just
sober
have,
also.
yeah,
Um,
Same
and
here.
there was a wedding I went to recently. It was a family member, but you know what? They thought of me. And
oh,
what
how
she
nice.
had at the wedding was, of course, the open bar for, whoever. And then there was a coffee bar for all the specialty drinks. And then she had a really nice THC infused bar,
Nice.
for
Very
that's where
nice.
and everybody seemed to drift over there, and she did that for me, and I thought that was so nice,
Really
so
nice.
sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm sure it made for a much more fun wedding too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. There's something almost kind of strange about it tailing in with alcohol, where, well, as long as alcohol's already okay, whatever, and
Yeah, but alcohol is
and,
like one of the number one killers.
yeah, right. Well, but that's what makes it so odd of a concept. I
Mhm.
mean, it has my yellow flags up because things just aren't lining up with that. But
I mean, I can totally see.
the social aspect I never really thought of for somebody that doesn't drink. How nice it would be to have that something in
Something.
your hand
Yeah.
too at the same time somebody else is
Mhm.
doing that.
Yeah.
And I find it, I guess, odd that I'm hearing about that from Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, well, we could learn something from Texas then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, that is a little out there, but it's something,
Not that far out there.
well, maybe we should kind of point to that. I've never heard that used as an example here, because in New Jersey, yeah, patients have great consumption privileges. That's the one thing New Jersey got right compared to other states. But for adult use cannabis, this idea of, my God, we have consumption lounges now. What's it like? I'm like, what's it like? Come on, you got to know what it's like already. It's going to be the same as it is, except for you're not looking over your shoulder because it's legal. And I don't, not to be disparaging of Texas, but that might be the first thing cannabis related I ever learned from Texas.
Though Texas did not get that right on purpose.
Yeah, right. Hey,
Texas
never
got
did,
that right
right?
on accident because
Yeah.
it was the 2018 Farm Bill that really did that, and and then again those people who pushed for hemp to be, who pushed with the legal means that they had to have, THCA classified as hemp. And so, I mean, yeah, I appreciate that. Although, yeah, I think like I think like these consumption spaces where alcohol and cannabis can be consumed.
Ooh, what's it
I
like?
like it. I think it's nice, but I do also see that, that people probably need to be continuously aware of themselves in those circumstances because of being, like a recovering addict for something. To put yourself in those circumstances where there's other people drinking may be risky, but it seems fine for my husband, and I know plenty of other people. And all you have to do is go to a cannabis conference where they can't consume infused beverages in the conference, so you have to go to outside spaces, and not everybody's, some people are drinking like club soda, but so it's if there's an alternative, I think for a lot of people it doesn't seem to be as triggering. And so it seems like that could be a great solution for a lot of people, but not necessarily everyone.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the that alcoholism is would be an indication for being a patient in many cases.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't get that. We don't get that right here in New Jersey, but we get it right for opiate abuse disorder.
Yeah.
It's called.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
great.
Yeah. So, but in New Jersey, to have it okay to be a patient for opiate use disorder and have a program called REACH New Jersey. I forget what the acronym is, but that's where when you want help with opiates, it's the hotline to call and they'll set you up, but they don't say, oh, also you're eligible for to be into the medical cannabis program, and be able to buy that, well, tax free at least. That's about the only advantage right now. So, but it's just one more thing to kind of add on to the poking order here is, we really should add alcoholism. I mean,
Yes.
why,
Yeah.
we should recognize that again. I like to start pointing to Texas,
Yeah. I mean, don't point too hard. We're about to change.
Yeah.
So-
No. I mean, no, but
About to change.
that's the purpose now is the image of Texas, whether it's fully deserving or not, to
Right.
be able to say Texas does it.
Mhm.
It is. I don't mean just Texas. There's a lot of other states to use.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see they got something accidentally right.
Yep.
Trying to get a farm bill right. That's pretty ironic.
Yeah, and something I was just thinking about too was when I was talking about the conferences. So at the Texas Cannabis Conference, they can serve. So like on UTE campus, on Texas A&M campus, at the conferences, we had happy hours with no alcohol. It was just infused beverages. So, and that was because of him.
Do you have any SSDP chapters, Student for Sensible Drug Policy chapters? Now that you mentioned Texas A&M.
Yes, actually, like it's funny. I have I got a text message from a friend in Texas who's with SSDP, and I've kind of been part of SSDP's lobby days in DC. Well, not normal. It was Last Prisoner Project and SSDP collaborated on lobby days in DC that I've participated in too. But there's in Dallas Fort Worth, SSDP has a big because of this person, Jeanette. I mean, she's great. she also works with Texas Cannabis Collective. But they've got a real strong following, a strong presence. They're great at organizing there, and they're starting to come down to Houston area to organize. I mean, I guess it says something about me that there's not a lot of organization in Texas or in Houston, but I don't know. The thing is, DFW is huge. More so than Houston, but yeah, I think people in Houston just don't like to go anywhere and get together and things like that. So,
how far are you from the state capital in Texas? I mean, Texas is such a big state. New Jersey, we're not that kind of big, and Trenton's somewhat in the middle. So, pretty much, if you're from New Jersey, you can drive to the state capital in 2 hours or less from anywhere in New Jersey. That's got to be a draw. I mean,
it's 2.5 hours for me. So I live on the west side of Houston, so it's not too bad. So when I do lobby days in Austin, I typically, unless there's like a special event, like a group, like I did Texas Cannabis Collective did organized a lobby day there, and when they did that, I stayed the night before and after, but that's because there were events. But if it's just me going to visit legislative offices, then I typically just leave early in the morning and come back same day. So,
how do you, if I may ask, when you're going legislative offices, that's going to differ from state to state. And, we can't just walk right in and up to an office and knock on the door like you can and Washington D.C.
Mhm.
and a lot of places. How does that work?
Don't
Lobbying
even
elect-
have to. It's like DC. You don't even have to knock on the doors. You just open the door.
You
And
just,
there's
well, yeah, that's a I guess a
typically
yeah.
an aide who's there, and you ask, does I'd like to speak with your
Yeah.
policy person who handles this, or
And-
the legislator.
Then they're supposed to say, "Are you a constituent?" Then does that happen a lot? In other words, when you
They
walk
don't.
in and you say that, they don't really.
They don't usually ask, no, but they do.
That's awesome.
They like I usually say when I'm a constituent. So, but I mean, as ridiculous as it seems, like 12 years of lobbying, and I still have not had a meeting with my state senator. And I mean, I've
Oh wow.
Found my way next to her in a hallway, and didn't let her escape. But that's it. Other than that, and she's really a powerful person in the Texas Senate. So and I've had meetings with members of Congress, lots of different members of Congress. Not my state senator, my own state senator.
Those elusive senators.
Oh yeah, well,
but a state senator, not like a federal senator.
I had that problem here a lot. My late wife was an MS patient who was a great example because she could only move her hands just a little bit in her head and maybe her shoulders, but she had open doors easy enough, and I could get her where she needed to be, and it was really difficult. But in Texas, there's probably some really heartbreaking stories that people's own legislators should hear, but they're not within 2.5 hours of Austin.
No.
So what I used to do at the federal level, because I'm 3.5 hours or 3 hours 45 minutes from parking at Union Station in DC, is I would have in this case veterans, because it was for post-traumatic test studies, but it was awesome to be able to have them email me a letter and use that. They would write their legislator and include right in the beginning, I would like somebody on staff to talk with Jim Miller when he hand delivers this to your office. And then I'd hand deliver that. That would be because I'd get a lot of, "Are you constituent?" Well, we're very busy, and we'll send this to your own legislator, which, obviously, but it always gave me a really special feeling to be able to tell somebody, "I'll be the exclamation point on your letter when I deliver it." And I could feel they felt included, so I'm not suggesting you do that. It's just that somehow it doesn't occur to people how, and it helps open a door to somebody. If it's their constituent and you're representing them, you're going to be heard differently yourself,
Right. Yeah, no, I have I do always mention if I know somebody who is a cannabis advocate in the district, and mention their name and things like that. But one of the things that I wanted to say that, I mean, this sounds great. I would love to have you in Potbound, because one of the things about Potbound is talking about advocacy and how it's so difficult for patients to be able to advocate for themselves, because they're dealing with health issues, and usually major health issues. And so and this is why, I mean, gosh, hopefully I don't cry here. Hold on a second.
No, crying is the strongest advocacy you can do. So you can try not to hear, but if you're ever advocating, do not try to hold back.
I know. But
I know. I think you're really a natural, though. That's my impression right off.
But I have, I'm sure some of you probably know Kelly Helms Jackson's mom from South Carolina or North Carolina, not South Carolina. Well, Jackson had severe epilepsy too, and he's since passed away. And I mean, I have these friends of mine that I got to know on Facebook from CBD for Children with Epilepsy page, which is kind of useless now, but it used to be really useful, where parents could kind of rely on each other and communicate about what worked best, and kind of get to some kind of solution for their kids. But I have several friends on there, and Kelly's one that's sticking out right now to me. But it just, these moms, other moms, what they've had to go through, that they're what drives me. I mean, my child drives me a lot, but the thing is, like, I think, like, how lucky we are that I get 8 months of good seizure control with cannabis for my child. Sometimes, not always, a good amount. But and he does have his motor skills and his language skills and all of these things thanks to cannabis. And I think about all the people who don't have that, and who don't even have a clue that they could have that potentially. And so, well, Kelly and I were talking one time, and she was telling me about how she took Jackson to the Capitol in North Carolina to visit legislators, and how, like, he was like crying the whole ride, and she didn't know what was wrong. And then, it ended up being like the position that something was in for him. And it's like, it's so hard on families who have kids like that. And like, I can't bring my son with me to the Capitol, because if I do, I'm sorry, my dogs, let me say, quiet. Sorry.
They need
little
some hemp.
yappers. Yeah. So I mean, if my son, there would be a good chance that all of the walking and talking and not being able to focus on him and what he needs would be provoking of seizures for him.
Yeah.
So it's like, it would be a miserable day if I were to take him with me, even though he could go. But so, like, to have a child, I feel so lucky, so blessed, and knowing that he has what he has, and that hopefully at some point he can have more, with more better research about cannabis. Then quiet. Then and hoping to be able to give that to other people too is what really drives me. And what I want Potbound to be about is this advocacy, and how difficult it is to advocate, and how difficult it is to find what you need. And so it is going to be our family taking a road trip in an RV and visiting different patients on the way to DC, to bring those stories to DC, but not just to bring the stories to DC, but to bring the stories to the public, because people don't know, like you say,
Still, yeah.
Why are you still fighting for this? Don't you already have it?
No, it is, the fight has only just begun.
In New Jersey, a decade ago, there was what started to be an exodus of families with childhood children with epilepsy to Colorado, because that's where anything was getting done.
Yep.
And
now Colorado's got it a little rough.
Yeah, it was. I got to agree that we do a podcast at the State House. Well, it was every Thursday for the first 3 years, and that's too grueling for 8 months a year. So it's Lefty has a podcast every fourth Thursday now. But when a decade ago, there were a few parents with children with epilepsy that would make it there, and that's what started to open eyes. But it was for me the most direct path for people to see the importance of this, to physically see the kids, the parents out there. But then they would also be represented when they weren't there, though. I mean, they were very happy to have their likeness and story told, or at committee hearings too. And there's nothing like somebody like that being able to be seen in a committee hearing about anything to do with cannabis. So the connection you're bringing to people in Texas, that's very commendable. It makes me feel like crying. It's exactly what people need to feel too. They need
You
to
know,
be
during
able.
the
it's
Obama
heartbreaking.
during the Obama presidency, there was a big campaign with parents back then. I have a cousin who has a son who is autistic, and he too has epilepsy. So we had done, the whole, we tried, we did the whole postcard campaign and whatnot, and brought the kids to wherever, but now these kids are grown up, and they're not better, and that's the sad part, because
Yeah.
the research should have kept happening,
Right.
and a lot of it has been stifled. There's a lot more research
Yeah.
out there that we don't know about, just what you're talking about, now, there's the Olin, I think it's called the Olin Psychiatric, what do I want to say? Olin Psychiatric Unit, or it's not a unit, it's institute. I'm sorry, that's the word I was looking
Okay.
for. And they're doing a lot of research there, and that's in Connecticut. And then Brown University also is now involved in a lot of research. But this is all stuff like you have to dig. So
Yes.
to continue to go out, with say your son or anyone else with a child, with a deficit, and to bring stories with you like that, it really does hit home for people,
Yes.
and,
Yeah.
brings, like you said before, I hope I don't cry,
Hmm.
Yeah.
but you can't help it,
Yeah. 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 I
And then
think
my
that, and
family
that's the
member
thing
that does have the really sick kid, he's 18 now, and because he's autistic, it's a little bit more, it's a little bit more difficult. So, where he was grabbing her by the hair and dragging her down the driveway, like he was big, and she finally had to put him in a home. She couldn't handle him,
Yeah.
which was kind of sad, And then on the other hand, Jim, we know, and Lefty, we know Jenny, right?
Yeah.
And Jenny was a nurse from Jersey, and she had taken her son out to Colorado. He had Dravet syndrome.
His name was Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah,
Action
that's
Jackson.
right. It was. She continues to come back to Jersey for the medical care, because there's a children's hospital. In fact, I live right by the children's hospital that she goes to. And those docs and nurses got very attached to him and what have you. But he's still here, he's still here. And it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. And her and her daughter, what they did was, why they moved to Colorado was because they could fill in that caretaker role, so she didn't want to put him anywhere, and so they each had a shift, and that's how they worked it. But there's a lot of sad stories out there.
Yeah. It's tough to hear them, and it's that we're kind of stagnating with this. And I think
I was just going to ask about that. What's going on at the top of your list of things that are moving at all? Is there any legislation pending or anything to do with medical cannabis?
So like from everything that I've heard at the national level, don't expect anything to happen this year at all.
Yeah.
Any
we
kind of
already know that.
legislative,
National.
any kind of legislation, let alone on cannabis, which is low priority for members of Congress. But I mean,
without it all
doing a good job. We're not in legislative session until January, so we have really short, and this is part of
till January.
Dysfunction in Texas is we have 140 days every 2 years, and it's not really in reality even 140 days every 2 years, because everybody in the legislature is too busy in those first few weeks of session, and they are getting their assignments. They don't know what committees they're on and this and that. And then as you get close to the end of the legislative session, then nothing nothing is going to happen if it hasn't already happened, kind of thing. So we've got like, it really feels like maybe 5 weeks of potential for lobbying activity in Texas. It feels like about
Wow.
5 or 6 weeks to me.
Out of how long? I mean, 5 or 6 weeks out of
Two
the year.
years. 2 years.
Yeah, see, this is I want to make sure because I'm having a smoke as we speak, and
Yeah.
sometimes things might get by me, and
Yeah,
somehow
yeah.
I've in my
No,
head
it's
I got a wrong decimal point or
Yeah,
something. You know,
no.
I mean, it's not adding
Yeah.
up.
So
So,
it's 100.
yeah.
It's technically 140
Yeah,
days.
I
every
had
2
heard
years.
this. I just forgot what state it was. There's probably other states like that as
Yeah.
well. But oh man, I feel like apologizing to some people in New Jersey about how long it is. Next thing you know, it's going to be all the way to Labor Day. You got to be Labor Day at least, not New Year's. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, no, and we had a long
that's
legislative session because we had 2 different extensions of this session. I can't remember what they special sessions
Yeah.
this year because of, well, it was because of
Trump.
the school. I mean, hemp was a big part of it. Like hemp was Dan Patrick really wanted to outlaw hemp, but didn't get to. But according to, I mean, I'm sure you guys listen to a lot of the same things that I do, but according to, like Marijuana Moment, I think is maybe where I heard it or saw it, that it was already a done deal at the federal level that Mitch McConnell was going to, do this hemp ban at a federal level. So it was like, go ahead and just don't sign it, Greg Abbott. You don't need to risk your political career over this kind of thing. But
Sure, he does need to risk it.
well,
Gotta
because
risk it for the
Mitch
biscuit.
McConnell was
Bet it
already,
all. Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. He doesn't have to come out of his hole to do anything. He just like somebody else can take care of it inadvertently.
yeah. I mean, it's
be.
Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick is the
Yeah,
the one.
Yeah.
I had some meetings with his office. They were pretty good, but yeah, they would not let me talk about hemp at all. They said, no, we're not talking about hemp. So
they're afraid to talk about it even.
Yeah. Oh, they would not. No, we're not spending time on that. If you want to talk about that at all, then we're going to stop this meeting. So I was like, okay, well, let's talk about the compassionate use program.
Yeah.
Like they do in Cranford.
But I'm really hoping that we can get home grow. And that's something that I've been really persistent about here in Texas because, like with Zach needing a particular strain and what like one of the things that I'm always talking about is like, it doesn't matter how many dispensaries you have or how many cultivars that they have. They still may not have what you need, and patients need the opportunity to be able to grow what they need.
Yeah, we can't help.
And
we
figure
can't
it out. If we're not getting any funding through NIH to help figure out what works, what cannabis strains work, what molecules in cannabis work to help epilepsy, then we need to be able to figure it out ourselves.
Well, you should be at the state level if you can do that. I mean, at least do some sort of work like that. But what I'm saying is here in New Jersey, when it comes to a home grow for patients for the exact reasons for epilepsy well represented, we can't help. We're under lock and key here in New Jersey from even having a bill heard for home grow for 5 years. Just so you know where we're coming from, because if we're going to jump up and have advice here and there, we're going to be like sitting here like this as far as home grow goes, because we're on a leash that's going to have to be cut. But sometimes when you take a certain advocacy path, you can't walk back that path. You know what I'm saying? It kind of stays with you and other people who are advocates. So it's a touchy, dodgy sort of road here, and I would love to be able to point to Texas for that too. I could beat it over the head with Texas with that. Yeah.
Piper, how did
Yeah,
you
and
know
I
that
was
cannabis
thinking.
would help Zach?
I'm sorry.
How did you know that cannabis would help Zach?
I didn't. I so like how it came to be something that well, I guess I can point to Paige Figi and Charlotte Figi and the Sanjay
Charlotte's Web.
Gupta's show, the one that CNN did on it. And I mean, I didn't watch that initially, but when we were dealing with Zach having seizures all the time, and he was in kindergarten, and I was at work cleaning somebody's teeth, and I get a call from the school nurse, and Zach had a seizure, and I apologized to my patient. I'm sorry, my son had a seizure. Have you seen this show on CNN about cannabis? Or I mean, back then it was marijuana, right? About
How
marijuana.
how long? How long? That was what, 10 years ago?
That was 12 years ago.
12 years ago? Because Dr. Sanjay Gupta did used Vivian Wilson as a subject of something he did right around then for her Dravet syndrome.
Yeah.
She's that really just opened a lot of eyes here. I mean, because when something goes more national from your own state, and this is people that had to move from New Jersey to get to where they needed to be.
Yeah.
It was a great example, and it really elevated the discussion here. The show. What about the show?
I think it elevated the discussion everywhere, and that's why I felt like with Popbound, the goal is to hopefully get something, or and I don't mind talking about it and having somebody else do it. You know what I mean? I pitched it I sent an email to Sanjay Gupta. Somebody, it just needs to be done. I don't care who does it. If it's me or somebody else.
I'm not laughing at you. It's just that I understand, I bet. It's sort of like being John Belushi in Animal House, where let's get him, and he goes running on out, and everybody's just sitting there. I feel like him so often.
I know.
But now I'm just actually kind of fading away because it's my longevity in this is overestimated, I think, and I got to tell people I am not a tireless advocate. I really almost resent being called a tireless advocate.
Yeah.
I'm freaking really tired.
Yeah, it's like somebody step up already. Somebody else step up already. I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I totally get the passion because I, this is how I feel about the seniors. There's just nothing out there for them.
Yeah.
And that's the same kind of thing. It's not understood. It's not educated. It's not studied. And they too have a lot, some have a lot of medical conditions.
Yeah.
And still want to get high at the same time. But the stigma is so real for them. I was talking to somebody in a dispensary who was telling me they have customers who won't sign up for their rewards program. They come in and, it's still very taboo to them.
Yeah.
And they don't want anybody knowing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's also the issues of a lot of patients who realize that they could benefit, who are elderly patients who realize that they could benefit, but then they're not able to get the information that they need about how to best start medicating.
Yeah. Even
figuring out things for themselves too.
See, what I find interesting in the education part is that there's a lot of young people that don't know what they're talking about either. They need a lot of education. When we move into the senior, we grew up with this stuff, and I can remember being a teenager, and one of my friends, we got period cramps, right? And one of my friends saying, just saying that was like the first experience, really, like, smoke a joint, you'll feel better. I thought I was feeling better anyway, but okay. Yeah.
Well,
Sounds good. You know,
well,
and but it does work. You know.
Yeah.
Queen Victoria said it. Well, that was always a thing. Oh, Queen Victoria used it for menstrual cramps. You know, and you know, and
So
I
did that
don't.
ice princess that they dug up, right? 2000,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
whatever years old, 5,000 years old. But on education, though, like I have a friend, Sean Hauser. She's a cannabis attorney. She was one of the attorneys that was working on the DEA rescheduling stuff. So she's starting a nonprofit called Choose Safety. So maybe keep your eyes out for it. So Choose Safety is with the goal to educate about these things and to, you know, I mean, the thing that kind of everybody in cannabis, I mean, maybe not everybody, but most people in cannabis kind of universally agree on is, yeah, there's not enough people with enough knowledge to be able to address the potential issues that could potentially reverse the progress that we've worked so hard to make, you know, and let alone keep us from, I mean, you know, keep us from stagnating, but it could reverse whatever we have made. So I think it's important to address these things so we don't have, like, I mean, you know, I don't know, at our conference here in Texas, there's a lot of talk about the THCP and Delta 10 and all of these different synthetics and stuff like that. And the thing is, like,
You don't need
I
them.
mean, like, yeah, we don't need them. But the thing is, they're coming from places like Texas and North Carolina and Tennessee. And, you know, because we don't have good access to just regular old weed. It's like, and now we're
Going
you know,
backwards.
Frankenweed, right? We're creating the Frankenweed because we don't have. So yeah, where I appreciate the hemp bros who have pushed for THCA to be available in places like Texas, I do not appreciate those putting dangerous things on the market, you know.
Yeah,
So,
I was taken back when we were. This is 2005 through 9. We were getting things done here for medical cannabis, and it started out with a 10% THC cap. That's when I first found out there was something other than THCA. Well, it becomes, and I'm thinking, like, is this some sort of bullshit? You know, I mean, that because, like, I know 10%, and then I'm going and getting something from a dispensary that was actually well above 10%. I mean, I could kind of get that just doing it. And, you know, then began an education that I've never caught up, because as soon as I get a hold of that, you know, oh, there's all sorts of other things.
Yeah,
and
they're always coming out with something
you
new.
know, and you know, quite frankly, is when I used to be the guy that really knew what was going on, everybody rushed past me with their knowledge. I mean, like a bum rush. You know, I mean, I'm what am I, stupid here? I'm not. But there's so many people now that I can learn from. You know, so it works well for me. But I've never really caught up, and I'm just surprised still at how much we know, alongside how much we don't know that we could know, that we could know with the base that we have now.
The more we know, the more we don't know.
But we haven't broken that gravitational pull at all. You know, we're just jumping with lead boots on. You know. Okay, that was all right. That was more. That was an insight.
Good for strength training.
Yeah, but good answer.
But yeah, I mean, like, one of the things is with these conversions. So, like, I was talking with a chemist, Chris Hadala, who was a speaker at our conference, and they came across. I mean, they tested some samples of conversion stuff, and they had tons of unidentified, like, chemicals that just have not been identified, characterized yet at all. And I mean, so, like, immediately I think, oh my God, that is so much potential for harm. But also then a split second later, oh my God, those are all molecules that haven't been looked at for therapeutics either.
and they're just starting to.
Is there? Yeah, it's crazy.
They're starting to do it with the leaves.
Yeah. Oh.
And they opened up like I don't know, like a Pandora's box of like they have no idea what's in it.
I don't know. I kind of, maybe I shouldn't tell you this, but
Sure you should.
I already told you about my bone broth. There's some leaves, not even a lot of leaves, into some bone broth, some leaves and stems from fresh stuff, and no flower. It wasn't from flowering plant. It was from young stuff. And yeah, no, it was pretty freaking intoxicating.
Really?
I couldn't cope. I was like, I cannot drink this.
That's nice to hear.
Anymore. So I don't know what happened. I don't know. I mean, I also did use my Chinese medicinals, so I have no idea if there was something that happened there, but it's like, whoa.
Learning experience.
Mm.
Well, way long ago, I was hearing something about it was 435 different something in marijuana. And back then I was thinking like, no freaking way. And now
now there is.
It's and back. I used to almost think, oh come on, you can't say it cures everything because so many people were, and I'm like, still, this is decades ago. You'd hear about it, and I'd think, well, people are going to believe it if you keep, and then it's almost like something else will come up, and I'm thinking, that all makes sense.
Yeah.
That it stretches my boundaries for the definition of medicine even. I mean, because like there's so many downstream benefits, side effects that are good.
Oh yeah.
So when somebody picks out something that is a side effect that you would rather not have, it really maddens me because I want to talk about tobacco and alcohol. Then if we're going to talk about side effects, so for a while there was a group in Colorado, I don't have, called Safer. And I knew the two people that started it, and it was simply comparing basically alcohol and sometimes tobacco, but alcohol and cannabis. I mean, if your child was going to be doing one and you couldn't stop it, and you knew you couldn't stop it, and if you tried, he was going to do both, which would you rather have him be doing? And then go to what science and even anecdotal evidence there's anywhere. And it was just too easy.
You can say hi, Zach.
Hey.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Look at you. Yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What is his favorite munchie food?
What's your favorite munchie food? Well, he's eating Popeyes right now. Do you guys have Popeyes there?
Yeah.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Love that chicken.
Louisiana fast.
Popeyes sandwiches.
I like the spicy chicken sandwich from Popeyes, or Chick-fil-A's sandwich.
Oh, Chick-fil-A, yeah, that's really popular.
Yeah.
No Taco Bell?
Chick-fil-A is great.
He
I
likes
like
Taco
Taco
Bell
Bell.
once in a while. Not just Bel Grande. He likes.
Yeah. Not all the time though, but I'll eat it every time.
And any kind of snacks you like munchy kind of foods? No, he's not really a munchy kind of guy. He likes to have a meal,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lefty likes to ask everybody that, I got to say. And then I think he's just looking for good ideas sometimes, Hey!
Okay, how would you change it
I think he's hungry.
Broth.
He is hungry, yeah.
Broth with fresh cannabis leaves.
Sounds good to me.
Oh,
So
man.
Lefty, what's your favorite munchy food?
Cheese and crackers with olives.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yummy.
What kind of cheese and what kind of crackers?
Yeah, that's what I was
Very
gonna say.
sharp cheddar.
Oh, sharp cheddar. Yeah.
I like
Like
the
that
toasted,
seaside
toasted
cheddar.
Cheez-Its.
Oh yeah,
Cheese it.
I like the sharp cheddar, like the seaside cheddar with the where you can feel the crystals in there.
Mhm.
I like those
Ooh.
crystals that, like, yum.
Hold
They
on.
have these
Flavor
rosemary
crystals.
crackers that
You
a
eat it.
grocery brand here has.
That's
They're rosemary currant. Oh,
Yummy.
so good.
So
So
yummy. I love those.
You
what's
ate
that?
it.
You've had them? Did you
I've
say
had
you
the
have them?
rosemary crackers. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, so good.
Or English crackers. Oh yeah. All day.
So what's everybody
Yeah.
else's favorite munchy foods? I got to think about mine.
I go back and forth. It depends. There are some times where I like something sweet, or there'll be times when I just want to eat peanut butter all the time.
Apples and peanut butter. I
Oh,
love
I just get the little Jif cups,
Yeah.
and I keep them in my office, and I keep plastic spoons, and I could literally eat that all day.
So I get the Jif like squeeze packs, and I put it on the apple, and those are good.
I like hot.
And then if you add a little honey, it's even better.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just love it straight up. I just
We're building
scoop
something.
it out and eat it. The kids are like, you
Gotta
got to
get
do something
the
with
honey
it.
roasted peanut butter.
Honey roasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what do you do? You know, I mean, every week, what's your favorite munchy food? And all? What happens when they stop making your favorite munchy food? Hot doodles. I love hot cheese. The hot doodles are called cheese doodles, and I like that. There's so much flavor for so little that if you just let it sit in your mouth, it was like almost nothing. You know, so I took, but they stopped making them. You know,
They do that a lot.
No, they have other kind of things like that with maybe there's a honey pot or a honey. Yeah, but
They might have them down here in Texas. I don't know. They might have them here. I think. Like,
you don't want to throw away something hot where like because it was hot peppers.
Right.
I mean the hot pepper congressional winner. They got a congressional contest. It's always a guy from Texas, you know.
Lefty, why don't you ask your other question?
Yeah,
man.
He's got a couple of
questions.
Yeah.
How old were you the first time you smoked weed, and what was the story behind it?
I mean, I don't remember. I was an adult. I was like a straight edge kind of girl. So I was an adult. I think I probably was like 23 or 24. I don't know. My best friend from high school, I ran into her. I hadn't spent a lot of time with her. I'm guessing, okay, because I don't have a vivid memory of it. But there were a lot of vivid. After I ran into her again, we had, that's when I started smoking. I was just like, had a lot of fun. I don't know. I remember just sitting in front of my refrigerator. I mean, I was a broke 23 or 24-year-old, and we're just looking like,
was I hungry? Was I hungry? You ever open
a cheese sandwich?
You ever open a door to the refrigerator and think, was I hungry or thirsty? What was this trip about?
No, I don't ever think. I'll just do something, I'm sure.
I was hoping for a now I feel bad.
No, that you go to the refrigerator with a mission.
Yeah. You don't want to. Yeah.
The kitchen's another story.
This is a group I don't want to stand outside of. Really.
Lefty, how old were you? I know you told me already, but how old were you?
I was 12.
6 months.
Yeah, 12. I was going to say 12.
Right here behind this house, I smoked.
Yeah, my husband was probably 12 or maybe younger. Brian, how about you? Oh, my husband.
I'm glad you said 23 because I was 19 and nobody ever asked me to join them in high school because I was kind of like a good grade person and they profiled me incorrectly. I was curious. I mean, one day I even saw a guy that lived like across the street from me, and it was I forget. It was a class you took. Like I had straight A's in history, and I didn't have to take a final exam. I mean, I didn't have to take I ran out of science courses to take, and I ran out of history course. Yeah, so like I got to take typing as a senior and home No,
No,
an
Matt?
economics class.
Hold
You
back.
learn. You learn how to know. You learn how. I should have
How to
thought
tie
of
your
that.
shoes.
I seriously should have thought of that. No, it was where you learn how to make change if you work at McDonald's or something, you know, and yeah, and remember to put the plug back in after you clean a rowboat, you know, stuff like that. But nobody asked me, and then it wasn't until Thanksgiving when I was at North Carolina State University, and somebody asked, you know, it was about time. So I always felt like a late bloomer in advocacy, you know. And but my friend Billy Nyerson was, you know, the school, the desktop that doesn't have anything under it, it's just a top and it's slightly, and that apparently is a good place to clean seeds because we're in the back of the room and he's just got some leaf out, it wasn't bugged. And seeds were rolling down onto it's that kind of class. You know, the teacher got no respect. He is a real Rodney Dangerfield type. And Billy didn't ask me. And I'm like, yeah, and he's on the school bus and I'm trying to look as interested as possible. And, you know, and then after that, from that Christmas vacation on, you know, I'd go over to his house because him and his brothers always, they were my guys, you know, became that. But nobody asked. So thank you for being 23. You know, this crowd here averages
all
like,
that for 23.
Like, yeah, they average like 13 or something.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. My husband too.
I bring the average
16
way
for
up.
me.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep them respectable.
I think I was 13.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. John, what about you?
About 12, 13. Yeah, about that same time.
Liz?
Oh, wow.
Eighth grade into high school.
Yeah.
Liz, how old? What about you?
16. I was in high school.
Yeah. Okay.
And I went out to one of my friend's cars and we smoked out of a corn cob pipe. Who remembers
Oh,
those?
fun.
I like corn cob. Yeah.
I do too. Yeah, they're fun to smoke out of.
Yeah.
Once in a
Yeah.
while, you can pick them up at a gas station around here sometimes.
Oh, wow.
They're
Yeah,
fun.
and then when there was sometimes you'd be smoking as much cob as bud, you know, it'd be like if you didn't have any more, you'd light it a couple times, 2 exits. Yeah. I know.
Okay, I've got a
Marina,
new
that's,
question. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
So, like, what is your favorite thing to smoke out of, or what is your favorite way to smoke, or dab, or
Bab.
you know, vape, dab? What
Yeah.
kind of dab rig do you have there? What is that?
It's just a little glass one with a G Pen Connect.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Wow. I
Go
got
high
nothing.
tech.
I
Tired
prefer,
of wasting money on butane, so got this little thing. You know, just hit
Yeah.
the button, take a hit,
Yep,
and go.
that's cool. Cool.
I'm a joint
like-
person and a pipe person. Just, you know, I'm all 70s. I want to dab. I'm trying to learn to dab. It's not working. But like I'm really dying to do it. But yeah, joints and you know, little pipes. That's what I go with.
yeah, I just have generally something to take one at a time because, well, in my environment, I smoke, you know, by myself, and I like to take time with it. But on Sundays, when I get back to the family compound, we call it, you know, 2 brothers and an old stepdad, and the bong's on the table with ice on in it, and that's just traditional, I guess. But I don't know. It's just something very fun about Sunday. Come on, you got to clear that bong, you know. And so there's like two of us in our 70s and the baby in his mid 50s, you know, and he can clear it off. But it's just funny because it's, you know, it's like take the stem out and then. And sometimes you don't notice, and I'll have Rick go like 12 in a row without a cough. You know, we all celebrate. And it's just kind of funny because the same guy that hated it all along, the stepdad, he's just over there having the best time of his. Oh, he just turned 90, and he just likes laughing at us. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
he's my stepdad who I had a new brother, and I don't call him a half brother. He's a whole damn brother, you know.
Yeah.
When I was 18, so like he's a whole full generation different. And he was like, you know, the smart one. He's the best of the group. I mean, if you had to rate us on, we all agree about that. But to get together with my older brother, and you know, I'm 73, he just turned 75, and Ken 55. It's just something fun about watching George really laughing at us the right way.
Yeah.
You know, he gets just, it's like we're his show, and he's in the one room, we're around the dining room table, and we do, it's stupid stuff, but it's all fun. You know, it's a time to just like, and we don't talk any kind of real like business or real politics or nothing. It's just like a running conversation of nonsense, and it's like the best sense of family communion I've ever had in my life. It's like doing that every Sunday for, well, not with the bong. The bong didn't start till about 5 years ago, you know, out on the table. It was a long period of don't ask, don't tell before that, you know.
Yeah. Sounds like a really long period of
but it's just funny, you know. It's somebody like Billy Crystal wrote a book, I think it was 600 Sundays or something, with his father, and you know, I'm there every Sunday. I might miss 4 in a year tops, you know. Sometimes it's because we do it Saturday, you know, if something's going on, or Monday. But yeah, it's but that's when the bong, that's when the bong's out.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Do you take it out like on Half Baked? You know, when they bring the bong out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Get Billy Bong Thornton, man.
Yeah.
You sound just like him.
Not without Kenny, man. Wesley Pipes.
You do that so good.
Oh boy.
Gosh, man.
This has been a really good show.
Yeah,
man.
It has. I feel reinvigorated. You know, I feel like I've been reminded of. I already know the importance.
Yeah.
But every now and then, you know, it just you've helped reconnect me with the importance, and you know, and
it's great to be connected with you guys too. Thank you, Sue, for inviting me, because it's reinvigorated me too.
You know,
and this is the thing, is like, it's so easy to let it kind of rest, and you know,
we don't let it rest at the podcast when it gets near quitting time, because we read a list of names just to hear the mention of the name, much like to do at the World Trade Center every 11th of September, and ring a bell in between, and that's their moment to be remembered, just their name said out loud amongst people who knew them. And it's not like I can even, you get one image in my head and then another one is Lefty Grimes, and for me it's like just being smacked back and forth, you know.
Yeah.
And so basically we can have the greatest fun podcasts there are. And like Lefty and me would say, that it's our job to make you feel like shit at the end, not you in particular, Piper. but you know, but to not take it for granted, especially what you don't have personally to advocate for your own self or family, to be grateful for that. You know, and to appreciate and help others who have stuff to do. And yeah, for me, I mean, well, Lefty starts the list off with Cheryl, who would be my, I don't know, a late wife. She died 23 years ago. You know, I don't know when to stop calling her my late wife. I don't know how that
You don't
goes.
stop. You
Never.
don't.
You never.
Yeah, well, my nickname was the late Jim Miller till then too. Yeah, oddly enough, you know, and then it seemed inappropriate. Well, it is. You know, look, everybody knows me. That does know me. But anyway, there's only the 61 names. It's people who took part, were an example to be looked at as what it needs. There's like when it come to epilepsy, a lawyer, Roger Barber, going to bat for his child, end up making New Jersey the first state in the country to allow a Schedule I substance on school grounds, namely cannabis, even though the mother had to come and here, drink it, okay, and then go back to work. I mean, the stupidity of how it got done. At least it got done. And when the name Roger comes by, that's him, and it's a slap in the face. But it's what you just said reminded me of that. So at the end, if you want, don't go away till there'll be the list. And I know you may not know the names, but at the end, Wayne is the one when you hear that. Oh, you ate it! Lefty playing a little. That's Wayne. He passed on. What half year?
6 months ago, no?
Yeah, right. That has Wayne.
Mm.
So anyway, and the voice that says this concludes our podcast is also him. He had a great radio voice.
Our podcast.
That's Wayne. So anyway, we read off. He's at the end, and if ever there's somebody that really leaves us from your end. And you would want that person's name mentioned, we'd be glad to put it on. Although we've run a streak, we haven't added. If there's a no hitter going and I was a pitcher, you'd never want to say it. But so far we've mentioned it, and no names have been added this year yet.
Yeah, I'm good.
But it doesn't matter because it's like. Sometimes I feel like almost I should put in earplugs and pretend like I'm listening because it's moving, and I understand. But combined with this, it's perfect tonight, and I appreciate you being here.
So let's start with Mad Hatter. Thank you, Mad Hatter, wherever you are. CMMNJ, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OpenMachine.com, and SativaCross.org.
Be donating.
With Jim's late wife, Cheryl, Sabina, Diane, Gracie, Cindy Mae, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colin, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jay Bird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, Lawanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, Julia, Wayne, Waxy, Joe Marie, Jeff.
We missed them all.
Yep, that's.
Well, it got me at the beginning there with Cindy Mae.
Yeah.
Susan was one of the people who meant really a lot to me with the CBD for Children with Epilepsy page. And so Cindy Mae, her death was the first really, really hard friend from cannabis that I faced. So
They never
got
get
me there.
easier.
No,
It's a fight.
you don't.
It's a fight worth having.
It is. It is. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Harper,
Yeah,
thank
man.
you.
Thank
It was
you.
great meeting you. Thank you.
Yeah, great to
Yeah,
meet you.
you're
Harper, thank you. There's
Have a
also
great night.
there's another network I would like to invite you to, but I can talk to you offline
Okay,
about
sounds
that.
good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you
Alright.
so much, you guys.
Oh,
Thanks.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everybody. They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Thank you, everybody.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Good night,
Good
everybody.
night.